Howdy y'all, it's Kathy from RustPaperScissors, and I'm here today to do a tutorial, kind of a remake tutorial on the flip-flop journal that I did a couple of days ago. I make them out of file folders, and somebody mentioned that it wasn't real clear how I sewed them into the journal, so I wanted to just go over that again real quickly, and it'll be a quick little tutorial. And then I wanted to make an announcement. I'm going to put, my shop is going to take a break for about a week, and I just wanted to mention that, so in case you have any rusted items that you need, please go to my shop before Tuesday. Starting Tuesday, my shop will be taking a break, but I will be back in about a week. So I just wanted to showcase a couple of things, and I talked about a while back, I was supposed to go to a craft show and in May, and it got canceled. So I had made up several things in anticipation for going to that craft show, and just to have them here, and haven't done anything with them. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just put them in my shop and see if they'll sell. One thing I worked on, it's not for sale, but it was just a little business card, and I thought that was kind of different. I wanted to make something different, made it out of corrugated cardboard, added my name. I need to put, like my YouTube channel, my website, that type of thing. But I just wanted to show you those. I had worked on those, and I thought I liked those. And then I found these little easels at Hobby Lobby, and I thought they would be so cute if you set them on your desk. So I love the Paris theme and idea. So what I did was I took it came with a new bulldog clip, and I took those off and added a rusted bulldog clip. And this one has a little Paris dress form. And I set it on my desk, and I clip, you can clip notes or to-do list, and there I just had my business card. So I just wanted to show you that. But I have these, they will be for sale in my Etsy shop. I have one that is a sand pool design with the ballet slippers. Another one is the dress form again. And they're just something a little fun you might be interested in, I don't know. And then this one is the sand pool, it's just the roses. And then the last one again is a dress form, the Paris, and it says Paris on there. But I thought that it might look cute sitting next to your journal if you have a Parisian themed journal, or you just want to have something pretty sitting on your desk. Those will be for sale in my Etsy shop later on today. All right, well, let's talk about the tutorial. I made these flip-flop journals out of file folders. And when I was making them, the first one I made, it had a gator mouth because, I put probably too many papers in there, really, to be honest. And so I thought it would be nice if they kind of had a little spine. So what I did was I revised my design, and I made them with each of the signatures has a 1/4 inch spine. So I just like that. When I did the last tutorial, I talked about the 1/4 inch spine, but I didn't show how to sew the signatures in. Here's an example of one of the signatures sewed in with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and that's just the front of the journal. So we'll go through, I'll flip through it at the end, but we'll finish up some of this stuff. I'm going to sew in 2 signatures real quickly and show you how easy it is. I may stop the camera quite a bit, just so I'm not just going over things that you already know. And we'll see if I can make it more clear as to how you construct this. So what you need for the flip-flop journal, what I used was 2 file folders, and I used these, I'm going to scoot, there we go. I used these letter size file folders, and I use them all the time and I love them. And all I did was I cut off this rounded edge and just kind of made it straight. And so that's what this is. And then now what we're going to do is, what you do is, I'm going to, let me get this out and ready to go. What you want to cut off this indented part and the tab. So on this file folder, that measurement is about 8 1/4, which works out good because then we're going to make a 1/4 inch spine. And so that allows you to make the 1/4 inch spine. So I'm just going to cut that off at 8 1/2. So now you have a file folder that's just, you know, kind of basically a square. And this is going to be your book, your journal. Now I'm going to cut this at about 8 inches. So I want it to be about 8 inches tall. So I'm just going to cut this one down. Save this piece. You can make, you know, tags, all sorts of things out of this extra piece. And then, so now what you're going to do, and this is kind of the only tricky part of the tutorial, is I'm going to stop it for just a second, get set up, just a moment. Okay, so here I just had my scoreboard, and what it is, this is your journal. It's 8 inches tall. It's 8 1/4 inches wide. The first thing that we need to do is, on the file folders, it comes with these pre-scored lines, and this first line is about 1/4 inch. That's where we're going to want to fold the file folder. So we're going to score that, and just, well, not score it, but fold it. So now, and I like to fold it both ways. I fold it this way, and then I turn it over, and I fold it this way, and then I fold it this way. Just so you get a good fold on there. Okay, so now you have your journal. Now it's 1/4 inch shorter. So instead of being 8 1/4 inches long, it's now one side's 8 1/4 and one is 8. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut down that 1/4 inch side. And all we're going to do is just on the long side, where when you have your folder folded with the spine, you're going to have a side that's longer. That's the side you're going to want to cut off, and it's just about 1/4 inch. So if we line up our, let me get my thing, if I line this up at 8 inches, that's 1/4 inch shorter. That's what we're going to cut off. Okay, so now your journal is, your journal base, I should say, is 8 1/4. Okay. No, it's now 8. I'm sorry. It was 8 1/4. Now it's 8. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to open it up, and you're going to want to take one side, and you're going to fold this side. Now, this is where it's different than what I did the other day. You're going to fold it all the way over to that second score line. Okay? And we're going to score, you know, we're going to fold it. Okay. Now I'm going to go on and do the other side. We're going to open it back up. I'm going to take this other side, and I'm going to fold it to that the very first fold line. And there we go. Okay. So now we have that. So this is going to be 4 inches. It's 8 1/4. It's going to be 4 inches, and that's a little bit off, but it'll work. Okay, because we're going to make our 1/4 inch spine on this side. So what we do is, when you lay it out, you're going to want to make a 1/4 inch mark See, here is it, it's at 4, just about at 4. I'm going to move it over to where it's about at 4 1/4. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to make a 1/4 inch what is that? What are those called? Crease. When score. You're going to make a score. I'm going to score it a 1/4 inch over. It's going to be towards the open side of the journal here, and I'll show you once I get this scored. I couldn't find my scoreboard thing that goes with this, so I just have to use this one. So see, on this outside where it's open, that's where you're going to want to make your score mark inside. Okay, so now you have 2. Now, this is such a small score, I go through and I help it when I fold it, because it's kind of hard to fold being such a thin fold. So now you have a 1/4 inch spine on this side. So now you've got your 1/4 inch spine, your 1/4 inch spine, and now we're going to do a 1/4 inch spine on this one. So I'm going to turn it over again. I want the open side next to my, scoreboard here. I'm going to find the line at 4 1/8, or actually a 1/4, 4 1/4, and I'm going to score at 4. So again, I'm going to make a 1/4 inch score, and this thing is hard. This isn't what goes with it, so it makes it hard. So there, I don't know if you can see it in the light. My light's not very good, but we're going to have a 1/4 inch here, and again, I'm going to fold it up, and I'm going to show you what. So now we've got this side done. So now we have 2 1/4 inch spines and then a 1/4 inch spine there. So that's exactly what this journal is. It's the two spines, and then this is the one spine. This one has 2 extra spines, and what I did was to make the cover, I took a different file folder and I cut it down. And we'll do that real quick just to show you. I'm going to turn this off and, okay, so to make the front little cover, what I did was, this is about 3 1/2 inches wide, it's 5 inches tall, and I just put it on the center really of the book. So that's what I did on this one, just to keep things kind of the same. And I'm going to fold this a different way, and let's see if I can get it how I want. Yeah. We're going to, I think, yes. Okay. So I have it where I have an open side here. I'm going to take one of my covers, and I'm going to, again, crease it at the 1/4 mark that's already done on the file folder for you. Okay, and so make a good crease. Okay, and then we're just going to glue it onto the front here. You can do this before or after you embellish the front. I'm just doing it now to show you what I do. And I'm going to glue this side, the short side, with just some Fabri-Tac. And I'm going to glue up to that crease. I'm not going to glue over the crease. And get my glue to work. Okay. And I'm just eyeballing. I try not to do too many measurements. And I'm just going to try and find the center there. And I want to glue right up to that spine. So I'm not going to go over that spine. I'm going to glue right up to it. So let's see if you can see it. Instead of there, that's our front cover. Now we're going to do the same on the back. We're going to find, and the back's going to be backwards, but that's okay. We're going to crease, we're going to take our file folder and we're going to crease it there at the 1/4 inch. And we're going to glue it. And then we'll start sewing in the other things, and I'll finish up the tutorial. But it's real easy. But that's kind of how. And I try and line it up with this part. So I'm going to try and do it backwards here. So I'm going to try and get it lined up with that one. And we're just going to go like right there. And again, I'm going to glue right up to that crease. I'm not going to glue over the crease. And we'll glue that down. And so there you go. So now you have your 3/4 spines here on this side. And then you have 2 spines on this side. And what you do is you'll open it. This is your front. This is the back. Then you open this, and that's it. So that's it. That's how you make the 1/4 spines. Now we're going to sew in a couple of signatures. I've already done the first one, and you can see there where I sewed it, the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And so I've done the first couple of them. I need to do this back cover, and then I need to do this back inside one. So let's do this little one first. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the camera again, and I'm going to make my holes, and I'll get everything ready, but I'll show you how I do it. But I just don't want to, I just want to, the sewing in of the signatures is the hardest thing for me, so I'm a little nervous about doing that on camera. So give me just a second. I'm not going to sew them in, but I'm going to get it all ready to go. Okay, what I'm going to do is, this is going to be the signature for this part of the book. So I only did about 3 or 4 pages. The center of the signature, I like to usually put an envelope, but I didn't have an envelope. So I found these, they're brown paper, but they're kind of like glassine, and I had tea dyed them, so I thought that would look great in there. And then on one side I'm going to cover it with sticky backed velvet, and the other side I'll leave it blank. You could add a digital or whatever. So but I just wanted to show, all I do is I get my pages together, I line them up. I'm going to take a bulldog clip and just hold them together, and then I'm going to just make sure it's centered. And I'm just going to find the center, and I'm going to poke it through, and then I'm going to go up here to this edge, and I'm going to make this kind of poke it through. Okay, and then, of course with TV I can't do it, or actually videoing I can't do it. Okay, and then we're going to come down here, and I'll just put that through. Okay. I didn't mention, and I should have, I like to use composition notebook paper. So a lot of times I will have that, or this graphed paper. It comes in booklets and it's sewn into the booklet. So there are these holes on there. So what I like to do is add some of that wound tape, that cloth wound tape. It just strengthens the edge, and so I do that. I just wanted to mention that. And then we're going to take our signature, and I'm going to kind of butt it up to that crease. And then I'm going to open this up so it lays flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center it where it needs to be, so it's, the pages don't show. I want to make sure the pages aren't going to show, and I butt it up to that line, and then I take my pokey tool, and I just, where the first hole is, I stick it in, and I make my hole. I try to get it into the center of the line as much as possible, and then I'm going to go down and I'm going to do the center hole. And I got the center one almost off, but but it is what it is. So there's that one, and then we're going to hold it and do the last one, try and find the center of the spine and make our hole. Okay, all right. Now, I'm going to take my wax linen thread and sew it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna stop the video and I'm gonna do that real quick and then I'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, what I wanted to do was I wanted to say when I sew my signature in, I've done my pamphlet, you know, the 3-hole stitch. If you pull the strings away from each other, it tightens up very easily. And then look, this one I didn't get even. I didn't get the center hole even. So that doesn't look very good, but I was trying to do it on camera. So I'll probably have to cover that up. I know I will, just because no one will know it but us, but the other ones I had done so good on, of course, when I was doing it by myself and no pressure of videoing. And then, you know, so I'll finish that up in a minute, but that's that. So this is going to be the back. And see, they do lay pretty flat. That was my whole goal for making the signatures with the spines, or the journal with the spines, was so it would lay more flat. So we've kind of accomplished our goal. Now I'm going to do the back signature. We're going to do it the same way. And I'm going to take my pages, and then I have, I'm supposed to have an envelope here. Where did my envelope go? I'm going to stop it and go find my envelope real quick for the center. Okay, so I found the envelope, and I'm just going to put it in, and I'm going to line my pages up. This journal, all the pages are essentially the same, so it's easy to get it ready to go. And then I'm going to find the center of the signature for the envelope, and I'll just clip these pages together. That's not going to hold the envelope, but that's okay, I can hold it. So here we go. We're going to try and find the center. I'm going to try and be a little bit better about finding the center of the signature, and then we just poke our hole. And then I come down and I line it up at the edge of that envelope. And then I know I'm at the same spot on both sides. And then I come over here and I line it up at the edge of that envelope. And just do that. And then what we do is, I'll show you this part where I line it up and I try and get it even. I didn't get the other one even. This one is harder to see, the score lines, because I've covered it with paper. But I'm going to butt this signature up to that fold line and get it where I want so the pages don't stick out, get it where I want. And then I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to also open this side because I want it to lay as flat as possible. And so now, if I'm in, I hope I'm in frame here, but I've just got to do this. So I've got it where I want it. I normally would clip it with something. Oh, I can do that. Let's see if I can clip it. My rusted bulldog clips. Okay, and then that'll just help hold it. Now it's butted up next to that fold, if you see, and now all we're going to do is I'm going to mark where my hole is. So that's that hole, and I hope I've got it in the center. I've got this hole here, and that's the center hole. I'm going to try and get that in the center. And then we've got this hole down here, and hopefully I'm going to get that in the center. Okay. Okay, let's look and see how I did. Well, once again, I'm kind of off on this one. I'm off to the side, but they're straight. So, you know, it's a junk journal, but still I would like it to be perfect. I'm going to stop it again, sew those in, and come right back. And then we'll finish up, do a little decorating, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so I got this one sewed in. I glued up that flap where we sewed it. This is just going to be the pocket. So now we have our flip-flop journal, all the signatures added. So this is the front, and then you open it up, and then this is the center. This is the signature, going back. Then this is the back, and then this, you turn this, and this is the back page, and then this is the back cover. You turn it, and you go this way. So what I wanted to do was, I wanted to show you how, let's see if I can get organized again here, how easy it is to use some of the rusted products and things that I sell. I want to cover the front of the journal with some sticky backed velvet. These spines, the stitching looks really good. It's straight. I did much better than one I did here on camera. So these lines are much better. But this one I did good, but this one I got way off. And so what I'm thinking I want to do, because as I say, we're alone in the craft room, and I want to cover these spines. And so I'm going to cover the front of the journal with some sticky backed velvet. I am going to cover the spine, and it's going to come over and be on this page just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure, and I'm not going to have my ruler. Hold on. Okay, man, this is the choppiest video ever. Sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the spine, and it's about almost 5 inches high, and then this should be 3.5 across, 3.5. Okay, but I've got to make room for my spine. So I'm going to do it at least 4.5. So I'm going to do it, I'm going to cut the velvet, but I'm going to cut it a little larger than I need. And I want you to see how easy it is to work with this product. We said we needed it to be 3.5, so I'm going to make it 4.5. So that gives me 1 inch to go on the spine, and I think that'll be enough. So see, it just cuts beautifully. It's so nice. And then this needed to be 5, but we want to make it a little extra, so I'm going to make it about 5.5. And then that way you can, cut it down easily. So this is what I'm going to do. But that's how easy the sticky backed velvet cuts. The other nice thing about the sticky backed velvet is that if you do put it down, you can carefully move it around. You can change the, you can take it off, unstick it and move it a little bit. But you have to be kind of careful, very careful. So I'm just going to make sure that this goes around, and we're going to have enough room, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this cover up with the front here. And I'll have extra on each side just in case it's not cut exactly straight or nothing straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this side, and all you do is just release this back paper, and it's very easy. And I just release it a little bit, and then I score it down just so I can have something to work with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cover, and I'm just going to line it up and center it the best I can. So, oops, see, I got it off. So all you have to do is lift it up. You can always put more glue on the cardboard if you want. See, I messed it up again, I think. Let's try one more time. Okay, I think that got it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release the paper, and I'm going to release it all. As I release the paper, I kind of press it down. If you get a wrinkle, sometimes you can, work it out with your hands. Sometimes you have to lift the velvet back up. and do that. What I need to do though is, this is longer than the actual book. So see, I stopped right here. So I'm going to go on and trim this down while this backing paper is still on there. I'm going to trim this front cover, or this back cover is actually what it is. This is the back cover. Okay, and how easy it is I'm going to open it up so it lays flat. I'm going to get my Dr. Pepper. And what I'm going to do is, at the fold here where it is attaching to the back, you see here, we're going to want to cut that. So I'll show you. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to actually pull that paper just a little bit further. There we go. Okay. So now, I'm going to, I hope you can see this, but I'm going to cut right along this edge. And it cuts very easily. I like to use this little utility knife, and it cuts very easily. Now what I'm going to do here at the edge where it meets the cover, I'm going to just cut that off. So there, now we've got it covered. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to go to the edge here, and just cut along there. And see how easy it cuts? Oh my goodness, it's really, I love this stuff. It's fun to use. I cover so many things with it. I make little journals, and I just love it. Okay, so there's our front. And then now all we have to do is, let's look at our back. Let's see if I can get it all together. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this so it's flush, okay? I want it all to be even. So I'm going to go here, and I don't have very much left to cut, so I'm going to take that release paper off, and I'm just going to make a straight line as best I can and just cut it off. See, I'll have to redo that, but that's okay. Might be better to do it with my scissors, but like I say, I love this stuff. It cuts so easy. And then we're going to do this side, if you can see, where I'm just going to cut it straight. All right, now we're going to cover our spine, and I'm just going to make sure that I get that spine part good. I'm going to kind of run my fingers over it, and then I'm going to press it down on the other side. So now we've got our cover. So it opens just a little bit, but you know, what it is I'll tell you. On this envelope that I put in here for this, I folded it over, and it is thick, and that's why this pops open, is because of that. But we'll put a little closure on there, but really the rest of the journal sits pretty flat. So I'm not going to cover this, the rest of it, because it'll just take too long. And but I will do it, and then I will. I'm going to put this for sale in my Etsy shop. Let me show you. Let me finish up the front cover. What I was going to do, and then it will be for sale in my Etsy shop. And what I do is, I love this image. I think that just says Paris. So I'm going to put this image onto the ribbon twist paper, and then I cut it down, And then I'm going to put a piece of cardboard, corrugated cardboard, and then I'm going to put that on the front. And then I'll probably add a little journal thing that says journal. But I'll do that and add probably some rhinestones and finish it off that way. I'll show you this process in just a second. It will come with some rusted elements, but like I say, I'll finish up these other spines. I'm going to cover up the rest of the spines just because I got off so bad on that one that I just think it would look better if I covered them all up. So that's what I'll do, but let's do the cover real quick. All I do is, I was wondering, does anybody else, I have a love-hate relationship with inking the edges. I mean, you have to do it because I'm not the best fussy cutter, and cutting things out, I don't always get it right. So I know you've got to ink the edges, but it's so boring and it takes so long that I just, does anybody else feel that same way? I'm like, oh, do I have to ink it? Okay, so I just glued that image onto this ribbon twist paper. Now all I do is, I have these deco type scissors, and I'm just going to cut a little frame around this, just cut it down, and then that makes it kind of look like it's torn. It is hard to tear this paper, I will tell you. It's hard to tear it, but you can, and I have. I got this several years ago. I was helping my church with Vacation Bible School, and I ordered this ribbon twist paper, and I ordered a lifetime supply. I have so much. I sell it in my shop. I mean, I've got these huge spools. I have a huge spool of this brown, and I have a huge spool of green. So if y'all want any sticky back velvet, just come to my shop. And now I'm going to try and make it the same distance around, but that's all I do with this. And then I'm just going to trim off this edge. So I want it all to kind of look like it's torn. And then I'm just going to straighten up this edge, and we'll be good to go. And then I'll put it on the corrugated cardboard. I cut the corrugated cardboard with these things too. You could tear the corrugated cardboard, but I get to where my tearing isn't always that great, so I just cut it. And then I will also ink the edges on this. Sorry, but I do ink the edges. And then I also tear this paper so it, it looks on the front, it's just, it's not perfect. Now, what I do is I take this and I'm just going to frame it with the corrugated cardboard. So I'm just going to hold it up there, and I'm just going to cut it with my scissors. And I love this corrugated cardboard. I use it all the time. And then we're just going to cut down there. And that looks pretty good. So when I glue down this ribbon twist paper and this digital, I don't glue to the edge, and then that way that allows the edges to kind of curl up. And I will ink the edge of this corrugated cardboard. And so I just put that down. Okay, and then let's see if we can find our ink tool. And I do love the vintage photo on the cardboard. I really think I like those two together. So that's that. And then I'm going to just put it here on the cover, and it really is kind of going to take up the whole cover. I didn't realize it was going to take up so much. What I'll do is I'll move it up just a little, and I'll add some rhinestones right here. But this will be the cover. And then I will add a closure. I use the D-ring closures, and I'll wrap some sari silk around it to close it. I will I will cover this, and it will be for sale in my Etsy shop. But let me just glue this down real quick and show you. I used the Fabri-Tac with the sticky backed velvet. It just kind of holds it better, and I don't glue right up which edge, this edge. I'm going to leave this side a little bit open because that's where I'm going to put my D-ring fastener. And another reason I don't go all the way to the edge on some of these things that I glue, it's because I kind of move them around, and I wiggle them around, and that gives you a little wiggle room, and it kind of sets the glue. So that is going to be that one. So let's just quickly, we'll go through the journal. This is the front. It's got just several different pages. The center is an envelope, and then this is going to be blank. It is totally blank. It's for you to make your own. Oh, let me do one other thing. I wanted to make a belly band here. I have this velvet ribbon, and I just thought it would finish it off. So let's do that real quick. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dab of glue here on the edge. And I'm just going to find basically the center, and I'm just going to glue it. And I got too much glue, but we'll get rid of that. And then I'm going to make it straight. Now what I'm going to do is I sell the larger ribbon crimps in my shop, but I'm going to use a ribbon crimp to glue to hold this belly band together. Again, it's just another metal embellishment and a way to use them, and so I just wanted to share that with you. All I am going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of glossy accents to the inside of this ribbon crimp, and then I'm going to find out where it goes. I'm going to make sure I only have one page. I don't want to get any other pages in the thing, and I'm going to stick the ribbon crimp on there. See how easy? You just stick it on there, and then I'm going to clasp it, and I have some needle nose pliers, and that's going to hold it. And I got a little extra glue there, and then I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to cut the other edge. I'm going to make sure it's straight. I want it to be straight. I'm going to cut this down to the right size, and again, I'm going to add a little bit of glue I like to glue because it goes back to my childhood. A little glue. Okay, so we'll glue that. We'll make sure it's straight. Get my ribbon straight. Get it here at the edge, and then I'm going to take my ribbon crimp, and I'm going to add just a dot of glossy accents in there, just so it'll hold it really well. And then all you do is you take your ribbon crimp. I'm going to close this and just hold this front part open and hold it up for you. Then I just take the ribbon crimp and crimp it on there, and then I crimp it down with my pliers. And now you have a belly band. Okay, so it's backwards. So here we've got our belly band. You could stick something in there. So as we're flipping through, this is the first signature. You open it. This is the second page. You could add, a tuck spot here, a lot of digitals. There's a lot of room for writing or whatever you want to do. And then this is the center of this signature. Again, it's an envelope that I covered with a sticky backed velvet. I added just some ledger paper on this side. And then this is the back. And then again, this is the back of this signature. Again, you could add a tuck spot. You could make a flip up. There's a lot of things that you could do. And then you turn it, and then this could be another belly band if you wanted. I may do that off camera. But this is going to be the back, and then this is the back, and I'll finish those signatures and cover that with the sticky backed velvet. And then you flip it over, and you've got your next side. And we'll do that. And then this is the last signature. And again, the pages are pretty similar, but some of them are different. And then this is our last envelope center. And then we're at the end, and we're back at the front. So that's the journal. That's how you do the signatures into the 1/4 inch spine. And I would appreciate any comments, what you think of the tutorial, if it was understandable. Again, my shop is going to take a break for about a week. So if you need any rusted elements, please go to my shop before Tuesday. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Father's Day. I wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day, and thank you for your time.